Over the years of playing D&D and watching people play it, I have experienced amazing moments of roleplay that truly create immersion for the whole table. So, if you want to enhance your role-playing capabilities and become an amazing player, these are the 5 things to avoid as a player in D&D. First thing I want to talk about that you should avoid is entitlement. Just because you want something doesn't guarantee that you get it. Look, D&D is a role-playing game that uses dice to tell the story with it. For this reason, do not approach the experience with the expectation that situations and plot lines must play out like movies, games, and shows that you have seen. Respect the level that you are at, and understand just because you saw John Wick go against 50 guys alone doesn't guarantee that you are able to. I'm not telling you to avoid epic moments, but I'm saying keep in mind that the dice are used to tell us how it goes. So if you're level 5, man, come on, humble yourself. But if you're level 15, go crazy. The story is always adapting, and if we play the game exactly how we want it to, then we might as well just write a book. The biggest appeal to D&D is its unlimited possibilities and the development of characters. So for this to exist, we need to respect the dice when they tell us what succeeds and what fails. So with that being the foundation of the game, don't expect all things to work out and get angry at your DM and your fellow players when the dice or story tell otherwise. There is an art in turning failure into success, and so for example, if you miss an attack, don't get mad. You can come up with a very cool excuse like, well, I guess this is why you shouldn't drink in the morning. Or even like, hey, this guy's pretty well trained. The overall point is for story reasons and for gameplay reasons, don't expect every little thing to work out because you simply want it to. Understand that there are times where your character is meant to fail. The second one I'll talk about avoiding is talking out of character. In controlled moderation, this is never really a problem. However, constantly speaking out of character begins to disconnect the immersion at the table. This is especially bad, however, if you are talking out of character while a player is having a moment. If everyone else at your table is guilty of this, then be the first one to show them the example. The experience of D&D is at its prime when players turn into characters. The story, the stakes, the dialogue all becomes better for it. This one might be a little tough for the third one, but it's being uninterested. A party's bond is forged through roleplay. It's for this reason that I tell every player to have their character interested in everyone's story. Even if you as the player find it boring, you can have amazing roleplay moments of disagreement rather than just ignore the story altogether. So when a player is having an important moment to them, put down the phone, look away from the character sheet, and look at them. Show them your support and show to them that you are watching. So when the time comes for your moment, they're with you there as well. I'm sure there's a lot of videos that talk about making fun of players is a bad thing. It's pretty obvious when you first state it. But the thing is there's a separation between the player and the character. And it's important to ensure that if you make jokes and comments, it's an in-character thing. Now, obviously some players cross red lines, and to those I offer no defense, go crazy on them. But some players are trying to just get better at roleplay and decision making, but oftentimes are insecure about judgment. So respect each other and show support to those people trying to improve so that they will improve. The last one I want to talk about, and what I think is the most important, is what I call player not character mentality. The least liked players, in my experience, are the ones who treat D&D as a game meant to win. They disregard the roleplay part and make decisions according to their own beliefs, out of game knowledge, and emotions. Now, these players dilute the experience because you no longer are able to distinguish between character choices and player choices. It's almost as if, regardless of what character they make, they're always going to be the same person because effectively the root of the problem is that they are playing the game from their perspective, not the character that they made. The characters that gain amazing legacy for your players to talk about for years to come happen when you are able to create that distinction, that separation, to let them know that this character is three-dimensional and very real. This is usually done best when you hone in your character's perspective. So like, even I as a player may not be terrified of any horror aspects that my DM throws in the game and I know are fictional. For my character, everything they're describing is very real. And so for me, if I actually started seeing faces coming through the walls or talking spiders that throw fireballs, I would break the speed of light trying to get as far away from there as possible. Now, obviously, to do it perfectly and to do it at its best performance possible, is something that is a skill that takes a lot of time. And for some people, they naturally start a little higher than others, but it doesn't mean that you all can't get to that level of masterful performances. The main thing, however, that I will say is the first step is voice. A lot of players don't do a voice for their character, and when you first start, it's understandable not to do one. However, the largest factor that can establish the difference between the character and the player talking is the voice. By creating a voice for your character, you have jumped into the first step of fully immersing yourself in the game, and that is how you will eventually become a great player. If you stayed watching till the end, thank you very much. I hope you have learned a thing or two. And if you have any of your own tips, go ahead and throw it in the comments so other people can see. That being said, everybody, have a great day. Grab a nice cup of coffee and take care.